Welcome back to CMC Markets Trend Tracker series. Today I have a commodity special for you. Commodities have been in the spotlight over the last few days, weeks, and throughout 2024, some of the most popular products traded by our clients. Let's take a look at copper, which has made a new record high last night. Not only have we seen a record high in copper last night, but copper is up 25% since the beginning of 2024. Now, we've seen a large short squeeze this week in New York on the COMEX exchange. US copper futures saw a notable rise due to the squeeze. Traders were scrambling to secure copper supplies for delivery on the July contract. In addition to that, copper prices have surged due to increasing optimism about lower interest rates in the United States. As you may recall, the most recent non-farm payrolls data in the US was weaker than expected, and that fueled that optimism. There's also been positive stimulus measures from the world's top importer, China, as they try to shore up their property sector. Also, stricter sanctions on Russian metal exports continue to bite, thereby pushing up price of copper. And just remember, it's not only about copper, it's also about US dollars, because copper is quoted US dollars per pound. So expectations are high at the moment that the Fed Reserve is likely to be cutting rates perhaps in September, or that might be brought forward to July or August. So that will potentially impact the price of US dollars across all commodities. Technically, copper is in a very strong uptrend since February this year. I've got the 20-day EMA and 50-day EMA as support lines. You can see how strong the 20-day EMA has been for the majority of this year, where prices have not pushed below it yet. There is strong momentum behind this trend with the stochastics oscillator above the 80 level down below. Support levels for you going forward, $471.60 US dollars a pound, and then $443.80 US dollar a pound. Resistance, well, we've made new record highs last night, so we're in uncharted territory. The trend is very strong. Next is gold, which made a new record high last night, $2,450 US dollars an ounce. And as I mentioned in previous trend tracker videos, the trend has been very strong. It's continued to climb higher, most recently on Chinese stimulus measures to help the crisis hit property sector, but also on lower US dollars and expected lower US yields and Fed rate cut cycle to begin in September this year. Now, the uptrend is very strong, as you can see, 20 EMA above the 50 EMA. They're diverging, gaining momentum with the stochastics oscillator above 50. What makes this uptrend even more impressive is that 20-day EMA support line, which continues to attract fresh buyers, and prices continue to bounce off it as well. So there's your support line. During this trend, 2,360, which is the 20 EMA, and below that, 2,295, the 50 EMA line. Resistance, as I mentioned, we broke 12th of April highs. In fact, we made a new high last night. And so we're now in uncharted territory. For those of you trading gold, remember the other side of the equation is the US dollar. So keep an eye on US dollar movements. Finally, the silver chart. Silver's had a very strong rally throughout 2024, up 12% last week and 18% over the last fortnight. Now, whilst gold and silver prices largely move in tandem, and they're both seen as precious metals, silver has the additional attraction of being used across many more industries. Industries such as electric vehicles, consumer electronics, solar panels. And this year, apart from demand for silver, for those reasons, silver's increased due to lower US dollar, lower US yields, expected rate cuts from the Fed, perhaps as early as September, and the recent Chinese stimulus measures to support the Chinese property sector. You can see here the trend in silver has been very strong, and that's been for the majority of this year. There's a lot of momentum behind it as well too. Stochastics oscillator down below is above 80, and I like using the 20-day EMA levels as support lines from here. The 20-day EMA is your first support at $28.90, and second support is the 50-day EMA at $27.30. So expect buyers to be attracted to any kind of dip in this very strong uptrend. Resistance levels, well, silver is at fresh decade highs. So you need to go all the way back to September 2012, around that $35.20 mark, that swing high point. And prior to that, February 2012, another swing high around $37.50. So they're levels to potentially focus upon over the next few days and weeks whilst trading silver and all the other metals. And remember again, keep an eye on US dollar movements. That concludes my analysis. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.